Get my 6. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the most amazing homesteading channel on the planet that typically doesn't have anything whatsoever to do with homesteading. Homesteading off the grid. So guys, this is a bit of a different angle here, different view, different location for the beginning of this video, just the beginning. I'm crap shuffling my garage. Now, change that first word, crap, with the one I can't really use. Well, I don't want to use on YouTube. There's no need for that. I'm SH shuffling. I do it every spring. So, but I needed to make the beginning of this video during the daylight. Guys, by special request, we're going to have a Bigfoot Sasquatch night hunt video tonight. Just a couple of odd things have come together. I met a lady named April yesterday. I'd never seen her in my life. She approached me after our flag football game, which we won. Yes. We're walking to the truck after the game. I hobnobbed with people for close to an hour. Dearly hates it. All of our games are at 8 a.m. on Saturday mornings. Reminds me of a funny meme or a reel that we post on our Sick Twisted Humor Facebook page. It says, finally, the kids are old enough to where we get to sleep in on Saturday mornings. And then youth sports steps in and says, let me stop you right there. So yeah, there's no such thing as sleeping in on Saturday mornings. Or on a Saturday morning, I guess, if you have kids and they're active in sports. And of course we do. But anyway, we're almost to the truck. And I hear this lady say, Coach Lake. And Dearly under her breath is like, oh my God, make it quick. And I'm like, whatever. So I turn around and there's this 40-ish-year-old woman approaching me. I'd never seen her in my life. And I'm thinking, well, it's the parent of a kid I coach. Here's the weird thing about parents of kids you coach. Half of them want to get to know you. They want to meet you. And they want to get to know you a little bit, because they understand that their child is spending a lot of time with you throughout the week. That's how we are. And some of them like you when they get to know you. And some of the best friends we have literally are people that we've met through youth sports. And then the other half, they don't want to speak to you. I mean, they drop the kids off at practice and leave and come usually 5 or 10 minutes late to pick them up. I think they might come to the games. I don't know, because since they've, and then when you see them, if you try to approach them to introduce yourself, they will literally turn around, break. It's crazy. I don't know, but that's the two types. So anyway, I'm assuming this woman who gave me permission to use her name, her name's April, who's approaching me, is just one of those parents I hadn't met yet. We're not really early in the season, but we've had a lot of game cancellations because of rain. So I'm thinking, oh great, I get to meet another kid's parent. That wasn't the case. April comes up to me. She says, listen, she does have a kid that plays flag football, but it's on a different team. I've never coached her child. She says, listen, you don't know me, but I know who you are. My grandfather loves your YouTube channel. And I'm like, okay, well, great. Is he here? Can I say hi? And that's when she informed me, no, he's not here. He's in hospice. He's 94 years old. Okay. His name is Steven. And I'm not going to give his last name. 94-year-old Steven. Shout out, buddy. Get my 6. He's in hospice. He's had a long life, a very productive life. It seems as if the sun is setting and he's comfortable. He's, to the best as I can describe it, is the best that April described it to me. He's not technically in a coma. He can't really communicate, but he can comprehend. And she said that every time they play one of my videos for him, when I do the eyeball thing at the beginning and I say, get my 6, he is responsive and he kind of groans. He's like, he tries to say it along. And that's the only thing that gets a reaction. He gives partial smiles when people hug him and all that, but he loves that. And she said that a couple of years ago, before he was at the stage he is now in his sunsetting of his life, he would always talk about my videos, and he was a lifelong avid Bigfoot Sasquatch guy. He used to go hiking in the woods. She says he's got a couple of claims that he may have potentially seen him, her, it, or they. One from the 1950s and one from the 1970s. It's going way back. This guy's been around a long time. But anyway, he always loved my night hunt videos because he thought they were creepy. And she asked me if I could do one of those and dedicate it to her 94-year-old grandfather in hospice, Stephen. So April, with, like I told you yesterday, as of this recording, before we left the playing fields, absolutely, it would be an honor. So that's what this video is about. We're just going to go out this evening. It's still, look, well, I don't want to show you too much about what's going on outside. My truck's sitting there. I don't want you to see but look, it's still daytime. There's the side of my house. I'll show you that. We've got a few hours to go before we get to nighttime. But tonight I am going to go out and we're going to do, we're just going to walk around and talk and see if we can find him, her, it, or they. And this is going to be a featured video. Ironically, my sponsor, Beaver, just sent me these lanterns. Now listen, this is a 4-pack. You get 4 of these. These are camping lanterns. I'm going to show you one of them. The 4th one is still charging. All right, I want to make sure they're all charged up. They come with very simple to understand instruction manual. Well, I just pulled everything out of my pocket. That's a ponytail holder. And that's the Swiss Army knife my beautiful bride Dearly, a.k.a. Giggly Girl, got me for my last birthday. I keep it with me all the time. I always need to cut something. But I ain't cutting this, brah. No way. But they come with these cute little chargers. I always just charge everything in my laptop. So I've got the 4th charging in my laptop right now. So you get a set of 4. I will put the link in the description box below directly to the Beaver site. You get a 5% discount if you purchase these with the discount code I'm going to give you. And they're only like $28.99 without the discount even. So you get 4, and they are really neat because they come with these like hooks. This is what they look like, okay? But you can hang them from, let's say, your tent camping. You want to put a bungee cord up there, or you got a drawstring or something, you can tie that, all 4 of them, to use them as a lantern. Or if you're using it in flashlight mode, you could do it this way. Now let me show you how simple these are to use. You can charge them with the laptop, which is what I'm doing in the house right now, or you can reverse the charger and charge them with your iPhone charger, or you can charge them with solarly. I didn't even take the sticker off yet. I like to keep these sticky things on there too to protect this stuff for as long as I can. So you can set them out in the sun. So if you're camping out in the woods and you're out there for days and you don't have a power source, just soak up some sun and then you can use them. Now look, they work 2 ways. You've got the flashlight way. You just push this button. And that's what we're going to be using tonight mostly as we look for him, her, it, or they. Actually, we're probably going to use both. Okay, turn it off. Then you've got the lantern version. And all you do is pull this open, watch. And it comes on. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Now, this is once they're fully charged. And these are useful for things other than just camping. You can, if you're doing car repairs or any sort of work in the dark. If you're in here working in your garage and your power's out, you can hang some of these up. And to turn it off, you simply do this. Isn't that neat? You can see the green light is on, meaning it's still fully charged. And here in a second, that'll go off. And if it's low power and you turn it on, or like I just did, and you close it, that'll blink red to let you know you need to recharge. So that's all there is to it. It's a simple product to understand. As far as the strength goes, listen, I got these a couple of days ago. They're very lightweight, which I like, but a lot of times we will assume lightweight with cheap, right? So I'm thinking, oh, this is cheap. But last night and most of today, we had this massive windstorm come through. And we keep our chickens about 100 yards away from our house. We've learned, we're getting pretty good at this chicken keeping stuff now. Their filth. Now, we keep their environment clean, but still, chickens are dirty. They're dirty animals. And in the summer, we used to keep them too close to the house, and they would draw flies and all these things. So we keep them 100 yards away. But last night, the wind was blowing, and it kept waking me up. And I thought I heard metal creaking, and I was afraid that maybe a predator was getting my chickens. So I got up. It was like 2:30 in the morning. And I had one of these charging in my laptop. And I thought, man, that little thing's not going to be bright enough. Whatever. I'm going to have to walk all the way over there, see what's going on. Wrong. I came outside on the back porch, clicked that to turn that on. And this, I'm going to show you tonight when we're out there looking for him, her, it, or they. This thing shined 100 yards all the way over to that chicken pen, and I could see that there was no predator at the chicken pen. So it saved me a 100-yard walk one way, 200 yards, 2:30 in the morning. So anyway, we're going to be using these tonight as we do the night hunt. It's dedicated to April's grandfather, 94-year-old Stephen. Stephen, this is a long-winded intro, but I wanted to let everybody know why we're doing what we're doing. And Stephen, tonight, more than anybody else that watches this video, I want you to get my 6. Get my 6. What's up, everybody? As you can clearly see, or not, it's dark out here. Still see a bit of the sky there on the horizon. I don't know what that is. It's a bright star. But alas, let's go see if we can find him, her, it, or they. So here you're seeing, by the way, since it is a sponsored video, lights out, lights on. See, you just shut it. Yay. Open it back up, and that's how the lantern part of it works. But let's go with the flashlight part. See that? You just push that button, close it. See, and the green light again means it's fully charged. Now, let me reverse the camera. You wait and see how far you can see with this thing. Wow. I thought I saw eyes shine. See that? But no, that's a bird feeder. So here we go, guys. We're going to do it. We're going to do a night hunt. Again, this is for Steven, 94 years young, who likes my videos and who always enjoyed the night hunts. So bear with me. Guys, it's a lot darker than it's looking like in this video. Time now, is it? Hold on. See that? 8:48 on Sunday night. So it's pushing 9. It's dark. You hear a dog barking a dog barking in the distance, and ironically, at the same time, I thought I heard movement up here. So let's go look for him, her, it, or they, and I'm going to do my best to, let you see what I'm seeing. Get the phone. Here's our chicken pen. Wait, that's my ground blind. There's the chicken pen. They're asleep. I already shut them up. So, typically, for those of you who've been watching this channel for a long time and who have missed these night hunts, I just walk around in the dark, shining my light, looking for the potential Bigfoot Sasquatch that may or may not live in the woods behind my house. There were some crickets and frogs, but just got quiet. So that's pretty good indication there may or may not be something here. But I just talk about stuff until we either see stuff or hear stuff or whatever. So, yeah, I haven't done this in a while. I'm a little hesitant. You see, we call this our meadow orchard because we're letting it reforest, as you can see with a super tall, what was that, poplar? Yeah. But we have thinned out a lot of the hardwoods and we're planting fruit trees here. Apples, peaches, pears for the wildlife. Mostly deer, squirrels. I have a lot of rabbits here. It's crazy, guys. The further into the woods I get, the quieter it gets. And this is late April. And every night we've had frogs screaming, night birds. I don't know why it's so quiet. Did you hear that? That sounded like a growl. There's a peach tree that we just planted last weekend, actually. Got some tiny little peaches on it. So, Stephen, 94. You know, I'm going to quote Stephen King here. Stephen King said that every time an old man dies, a library burns to the ground. And the same could be said about an old woman. Basically, anytime we lose one of our citizens or senior citizens, we're losing a part of history. Can you imagine the life's experiences? Well, some of them. Now listen. Aging does not lead to wisdom. Here I go, getting on my kick. Let's go check out the woods over here. Aging does not lead to wisdom. You don't become wise just because you grow old. Wisdom is a result of experience. So if you've actually done something in life, if you've achieved something, you have the opportunity to become wise. A lot of folks, you know, have kind of been in the same place your whole life, doing the same thing over and over. It doesn't necessarily lead to wisdom. But April, Stephen's granddaughter, yesterday talked a bit about his life. He was in the Korean War. Had a potential Bigfoot Sasquatch experience in the 50s, and then when he was in his 20s, and then again in the 70s when he was in his 40s. He did not retire military. He was drafted, but he went over and he did his part. He didn't burn his draft card and protest in the streets. He did his part. He left his girlfriend, who he would later return to and marry, and that's April's grandmother. He was in the Army, like I was. Just making sure to look around here real good. You guys watch for eye shine, glowing eyes. I'm not hearing any like footsteps or any walking around, but it's crazy because the wildlife is being so silent right now. So let's get back out here on the trail. And so it's I think it's a testament to Stephen and his life that at 94 years old, while in hospice, you know, watching the sun go down, he's got enough family members around him who care enough about him to even just approach a stranger like me at a flag football game and make a request for a night hunt like this from his granddaughter. There's a moth. I was loving spring, and I am still loving spring because I despise winter. The older I get, the more I cannot tolerate cold weather. But something happened this week that reminded me that there's some parts about the warm part of the year that aren't so pleasant, and that's when the mosquitoes return from hell. The mosquitoes here in Central Virginia, they typically go to hell where they belong in September, late September. Sometimes those little sons of gunses will linger until October, but then they return from hell in late April. And this is late April, and those mosquitoes return from hell. And I wish they'd just go right back to hell, but I don't guess they will for about 8 more months. So 6 more months, whatever. All right, just walking around, looking for him, her, it, or they. This light's working really good, isn't it? I mean, it's really penetrating the darkness, and I'm seeing pretty good distance out there into the woods. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? It's down that way. heard like a crunch and a crack, almost as if someone or something stepped on some dry leaves and then like snapped a stick or something. All right, I'm not going to go back because I hate backtracking. I'm going to go up this way, and we're going to go to where I heard the sound. There it was again. You always got to make sure nothing's coming up behind you on these night hunts. Hear a distant vehicle. That's my footsteps you guys are hearing. I heard something up there. What a beautiful evening. Look, I'm gonna hide the light. You can see my house way down there. Through the trees. That purple light, that's my son's LED lights up in his bedroom. We're about a quarter of a mile away from the house right here. During the day, you can't see it with no lights on because these trees have gotten so, look at that, see that? Gotten so big and tall. It's incredible. Still blows my mind. 9 years ago, almost, it'll be 9 years this September, we bought this place and it was a hay field. And we just let this back 3 or 4 acres back here grow up and reforest. Now we're going through it and thinning it out. Keeping some trails cut around. Wait a minute. I heard something from right down there again. That same spot when we were back there. But it sounded like it's down here. There's something messing around down there. Something's messing around. So, Stephen, listen, man. I hope that you have no regrets. All right, we're at a fork in the trail here. I've got this other trail cut down through this thick part of the woods here, and that's the main trail going around. But what I heard was down this way. So let's go down this way. I'll tell you, this, you know, I stopped doing these night hunts because they just got a little bit too creepy. It's been a few years, but there was the night before we went to the Grand Canyon out in Arizona. We had this really awesome trip about 3 summers ago. It was about a 3-week trip. We drove all the way to the Grand Canyon from here in Virginia, went all the way out there to Arizona. We took our camping gear. We camped at state parks and KOAs and stuff the whole way out and then the whole way back. Had a great time. But the night before we left, we had this crazy windy storm, a lot of rain. And I came out here because, I don't know, just do one of these night hunt videos. And man, we picked up like a rake or something, or some really weird thing. And I've just been hesitant to come out here at night ever since. I mean, look at this place. I got this trail I keep cut down here. But did you hear that? Did you hear it? It's right there. It's over there. Listen. There's something about 30 yards through this brush. I can take this trail around. There's something down there. Let's go see what it is. What's that? It's old fox doo-doo. There's something over there. Something between me and the house. What is that? Oh, did you see it? Oh, did you see that? It just ran. It ran. I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna get it. There was something here messing around. was something right here, hunkered over. Something big and hunkered. Like it was, and it just left. You know, I just mowed yesterday. So whatever it was would be able to run and not be heard. But I got a glimpse of it, and this is where we heard something going on. It was right here by this brush pile. What's that? Oh my gosh, that's a rabbit. Something just killed this rabbit. Something was right here. It killed this rabbit. Oh my gosh. We just walked up on a Bigfoot Sasquatch killing a freaking rabbit. And it's right here somewhere. Oh!